Hello, this is Bert. His birthday is March 5th, 2025. And this is Bert's story. Bert arrived at Kitty Cafe with his brother Ernie, after the two of them were found abandoned in a rented property. Their previous owner had left the home without paying the rent, and when they disappeared, they left Bert and Ernie behind too. It was an estate agent who eventually found them. We don't know exactly how long the brothers had been there by themselves, waiting in an empty home for somebody who wasn't coming back. No familiar voices, no footsteps at the door, no one coming home to feed them or tell them everything was going to be okay. Just Bert and Ernie, left behind together in the place they once thought was home. For two cats who had relied completely on their owner, it must have been incredibly confusing and frightening. Thankfully, they were found before they were left alone for even longer, and Kitty Cafe was able to give them somewhere safe to go. At first, Bert had to adjust to a completely different life. But slowly, he learned that people could be trusted again, that there would always be food waiting for him, and most importantly, that nobody at Kitty Cafe was going to simply disappear and leave him behind. These days, Bert is certainly difficult to miss. He's an absolutely enormous boy, and judging by his size and magnificent coat, we suspect there may be some Maine Coon or another long-haired breed somewhere in his family tree. Bert particularly loves the bottom room of the cafe, where you'll often find him sitting proudly on a table or perched along one of the ledges, quietly watching everything going on around him. When he's ready for a nap, which is quite often, Bert isn't particularly fussy. A cat scratcher he can stretch out on will do nicely. The cozy bed underneath the stairs is another favorite. And sometimes Bert simply decides that the floor is perfectly acceptable, sprawling himself out right in the middle of everything as though the entire cafe belongs to him. And considering his size, most of us aren't going to argue with him. It's hard to think that Bert and Ernie were once sitting together in an empty property, waiting for an owner who had already decided not to return. Bert and Ernie were left behind when their owner walked away from their old life. Thanks to your support, Kitty Cafe was there to make sure the brothers weren't left behind with it. Now Bert's days are filled with warm beds, full bowls, plenty of company, and as much space as one very large cat could possibly require. He lost one home through no fault of his own. Now we're making sure the next chapter of his life is filled with the security and love he always deserved. Together, with your support, we can be there to give more cats like Bert their second chance too. If you could support Bert with just £1, not only will you be helping to care for him and find him a new home, but you'll also be helping us rescue the next frightened little cat who has nowhere else to go. At Kitty Cafe, we believe every cat like Bert deserves to feel safe, loved and wanted. But medical costs and day-to-day care is expensive. Kitty Cafe is a rescue, rehabilitation and rehoming center. Please help us and help Bert by clicking the support button today and becoming a sponsor. Just £1 a month will make a real difference. Your support will save little lives.